shop. It's literally the bare minimum, but it's so cute. This man, he is the greenest of green flags. Tell me why I am grinning like the Cheshire Cat just because they're holding hands. She is like a full-on murderer. Like, she is the villain. This is morally black. Hi, my name's Jodie and welcome back to a new reading vlog. So I am very excited to be filming this vlog because I asked my patrons which vlog they want to see first from me, and a mood reading vlog received the most votes. So we're going to be doing a mood reading vlog, and I haven't done one of these in ages, and I'm definitely in the mood to mood read, which probably makes no sense because that's what mood reading is. But yeah, anyway, so I'm gonna spend an entire week just reading whatever I like. If you have watched my recent videos, you will know I have been in a slump of sorts. It's been a mixture of an actual reading slump and then just things going on in my life. So both of those paired together means I've done very little reading at all this year, but I am finally in the mood to read a lot of books again, and I have so many exciting books I want to get to across spring and summer. So we're going to spend the week mood reading. We'll see which books I get to, how many I get to, how many are 4 or 5 stars, and hopefully it's just a good reading week. So today is Wednesday when I'm starting this, and we're going to be doing this all the way through until next Wednesday. So I don't know for sure if I'll read every single day, but we're going to do a week of mood reading and just see what happens. So the first book I'm going to be reading is my current read, and that is Ready or Not by Cara Bastone. One, I'm obsessed with this cover. Look how cute it is. Like, I love it so much. It's giving spring, and of course it is spring now. It's nice and sunny here in the UK at the moment, and I don't know, I just was really gravitating towards reading this. So I have started already. I am currently on page 100 and I've only read this much so far. This is a contemporary romance and it has a few different tropes in here. So we have friends to lovers, we also have a slow burn romance, and we also have a accidental pregnancy. So if you know me, you know I am not a fan of the pregnancy trope. It's just a trope I always refused to read until I got pregnant. So now I want to read it, and I feel like obviously it's the perfect excuse and time in my life to actually pick up a book with this in. And I saw so many of my favorites talk about this book, I think last year when it first came out, or the year before. I can't remember exactly when it did come out. It might have been last year, but so many people love this and I really wanted to read it, but then I saw that it was predominantly about someone who accidentally gets pregnant from a one-night stand, and I was like, no. But now I'm like, yes. So I'm very excited to continue reading this book. Essentially, we're following our main character Eve, and she has a one-night stand with this bartender and ends up getting pregnant, and she decides she's going to continue with the pregnancy. And there are a lot of little twists in here, a lot of other things happening in the background. She has a best friend, Willa, who is struggling with some fertility issues herself, and it almost causes some animosity between them in a sense, and so she can't really rely on her best friend as she usually would, and as a result her best friend's brother Shep kind of fills that kind of vacancy in her life and is really there for her throughout this time. Now she has kind of grown up with Willa and Shep as like almost like her family, you know, the closest people in her life. She has lost her parents herself, she's not very close with her brothers, so they have kind of always been there for her, and Shep has just gotten out of a 10-year-long relationship and is now living at Willa's. So they are seeing a lot more of each other. They're both single obviously, and yeah, he's essentially kind of really being there for her during this time while she's navigating all these new things in her life, and a romance slowly starts to develop between them. So far I am absolutely loving this book. I'm not gonna lie, when I first started it, the writing style was really not for me, and it took some getting used to, and even sometimes I'm kind of like cringing at certain things, but the more I read, the more I get used to that kind of tone and the way the main character is, the things she thinks. She is a little bit like over the top sometimes and a bit like almost quirky, but I do kind of like it the more I'm reading and getting to know her as a character. And I'm just loving this book. So I started reading this book physically and I only read like 5 pages, and then I couldn't find it last night, and I thought I'd left it at my parents' house, and I was like, oh my god, no, because I'm really in the mood to read it. Like, I really want to just sit down and read this book until I fall asleep, and I couldn't find it anywhere, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy the ebook. So I bought the ebook. It was only like $2.99. I started reading it on my Kindle last night, and I flew through like 25% of this book in one sitting. Now to some of you, you'll be like, Jodie, you've done that like in the past before, or that is like easy, like what are you talking about, like 25% easy, like I can do that on my Kindle. But for me now, considering I've been in like a slump and I haven't had the attention span or anything to actually sit and read a book, that is amazing for me. 25% in one sitting is crazy. I started reading another romance book and I was struggling to even get through 5% at a time. So 25% in one sitting, and I had to force myself to put the book down to sleep, is really good for me, and I feel like it says a lot about this book. So yeah, I'm now on page 100, and this book is actually split into trimesters, which I quite like. So we're now going into like the second trimester bit, and so far it's just really, really good. I'm just liking seeing how the main character is navigating all these new things she's learning and all these changes she's going through, and obviously how her dynamic with Shep is slowly kind of starting to change. So I'm very, very excited to see their romance start to blossom, and I'm just having such a fun time with this book. So this is definitely going to be the first book we read in this vlog, and then because it is a mood reading vlog, I will just pick up whatever I feel like next, and we shall see. But yeah, so far so good. I am going to read some more of this book and then I will update you guys on my thoughts. But yeah, I'm just so excited. She didn't have time to eat any lunch, so he ordered her some lunch to her office, and it's her favorite food, and he even ordered her an extra pickle. Stop. It's literally the bare minimum, but it's so cute. I love him. I love him. He is such a golden retriever. He is adorable. Have a reading update, quite a big one. So I don't know what my last update for this vlog was. I think it was when I very first introed it, and I think at that point, how far in was I honestly can't remember, but I pretty much spent all afternoon out in the sun reading this book. And I have been reading it on my Kindle though, because I just read faster on my Kindle, and I don't know, I just feel like at the moment, like font size and stuff, it's just easier to read on my Kindle. So I've been lying in the sun all day, which has been lovely because I haven't really had a chance to do that, and I'm pretty sure the nice weather's going to disappear soon. So just lying outside, because I'm dog sitting at my parents today, so just lying in the garden all day in the sun reading this book has been the best time. I needed this so much. So I'm now 73% of the way through the book, which is page 271. So I only have this much left, so I think I'm probably going to try and finish this today. But yeah, I've read a lot since I last spoke to you guys. Now honestly, a lot of this book, even though it is a romance, it's like a contemporary romance, so the romance is obviously kind of the main plot, but at the same time it isn't. And I'm really enjoying this because I really like that kind of balance the author is creating between us actually caring about our main character, following her along and navigating all these different relationships and changes to these relationships in her life, and obviously all the changes she's going through physically and mentally. That part of the story is amazing, but then you also have this added element of the romance, and it fits in so nicely. But it's not like a very obvious romance, it's a subtle slow burn romance. It's friends becoming more, but it's her also questioning, like, is this just her pregnancy adult brain, like, you know, and her realizing a lot of things and kind of seeing her friend differently, but realizing maybe something has always been there and he's felt the same. So it's kind of really nice balance of the two, and it just works so well together. And it's very character driven, and I feel like our main character is very likable because she is flawed sometimes, and I like how she doesn't ever act too stupidly. Like, you'll always kind of see her thought process behind everything, and her kind of really thinking about her feelings. Like, she's very emotionally intelligent, I think is the word that I'm looking for. Like, she really, I don't know, I like the way the author will like talk about her doing something and retaliate into a specific thing in a certain way, but she'll talk herself down from it and really point out the pros and cons to it. And I just really like to see that, like, to have a main character that isn't silly. And I don't know, I just really like the way this book is written. Like I said, the balance between like the two different kind of plots going on, but also how it all ties together is just so well done. And I'm just having a great time with this. I love the friendships in here. Like, there is friendship and found family in here, which is just so nice to read about. We have different kind of dynamics with different relationships, and for example, the father of her child, he's dealing with his own things, so we also kind of explore that a little bit. And I really like how that is brought up, because nothing is just crystal clear or simple, but it's not confusing either. And I just like how this is very realistic, this book. Like, this is a very realistic romance, and I really like that. And I just love all of the different relationships in this book, and the friendships. The slow burn romance is so adorable. I have highlighted a few things on my Kindle, so I'm gonna get my highlights up because there was a couple of things I really want to talk about. There's not too many, there's only a few. So on chapter 15, I highlighted, a secret is only a secret if no one talks about it. What's a secret that everyone knows but no one talks about? It's shame. I'm sorry. Amazing. That is such an amazing quote. I love that so much, and I've never thought about it that way before, so I really like that. And in chapter 18, I highlighted this one line because basically her and her friend are in bed, and nothing, you know, like that, they're just like in bed, and then he's like talking to her, looking at her, and then the baby kicks and he's like, oh, good morning to you too. And it was just so freaking cute the way he's like talking to her baby. And I don't know, it was just adorable, like the way he's talking to the bum. There is a helicopter outside, it is so loud. I'm so sorry if you guys can hear that. I also highlighted this quote, which is when they went to look at apartments for him. This is set in New York City, by the way. And they went to look at apartments for him, and he says, because you being comfortable in my house is pretty much the only criteria I'm currently using for picking a place. This man, he is the greenest of green flags. Like, if you made a list of green flag fictional men, I guarantee you he's at the very top. You cannot get more green flag, like seriously. Like, this guy invented green flag. He is so cute. And then the last one I highlighted is more just like one personally, like for me, because obviously it's related to pregnancy, but it's talking about how like in the first trimester, like you are only thinking about yourself, because you're, even though pregnancy affects everyone around you, it's only you who really gets it because it's happening to you. And I was just like, oh my god, like I just really resonated with it. Reading this book like while I'm also pregnant, it's just been such a fun experience, and I'm so glad that I read this. But honestly, like, even though pregnancy is a big part of this book, it's not like you would have had to experience it yourself to really like this, if that makes sense. That helicopter is so freaking loud. So yes, those are all the annotations that I've made on my Kindle, but I'm 73% through, so I don't have too much left, and I'm probably going to stay here for another hour or two, so maybe I can finish it during then, or like this evening. But I need to fill my water bottle up because we need to stay hydrated because it's hot, and we're going to finish this book, and I'm so excited. I have an idea of a few books I might pick up next, so if I do finish this book tonight, I want to try and start another book and we will pick that together. But yeah, let's go and finish this book. So I'm here to give you an update on this, because as I've been editing this video, as I am filming it currently, I realized I never filmed a clip like with my final thoughts and to say I'd finish this book, so I'm here to do that now. So I have indeed finished this book. It's 4 stars, 4.8 but rounded to a 5, but more of a 4, if that even makes sense. Probably does not, but anyway, that is my thought process behind my rating. I love this book. This book was so good. A lot of my thoughts, I think I've already said, definitely still stand with this book and kind of demonstrate how I do feel, and that is that this is such a fun romance, but a contemporary romance, so it's more than just the romance. So, you know, some books you read and it's like a silly fun time, a silly little romance, you know, nothing serious, just really fun. And then you read a contemporary romance like this that just really homes in on the main character themselves, any kind of challenges they're going through in their life and how they're experiencing life and seeing the world, and also different relationship dynamics in their life. So it's not just strictly a romance, you also get the friendship dynamics in here, the found family, and all the internal kind of struggles that our main character is going through. And the way this book is written, and because of the premise, it all slots in together so well. So the fact that the plot is she's had this one night stand and she's decided to have the baby, and then we have her childhood friend coming in to kind of step in and help and be a part of her life, and them finally connecting in a romantic way. It all just fits in so well, and I like how the main focus of this book isn't like a man coming in to save her. Like, that's not what this romance does. It's very well balanced in showing how she kind of comes to terms with her life changing, and you know, she has all these realizations and epiphanies, and it's about her kind of taking control of her life, realizing what she wants and what she wants her life to look like, while also embarking on this romance. And it's just so well done. Like, I struggled to get used to the writing style at first and the kind of inner monologue the character has, but once you do get used to it, and once you kind of do read this as a contemporary romance and not like a silly romance, it is just so good. Like, honestly guys, I cannot recommend this enough. So good. I am so glad I finally read this book. Like, I loved it so much. It was amazing, and I haven't read a book this fast in so long because I've been in a slump, as you guys know, so I feel like that also really speaks for this book. But I just love like the New York City setting as well, and like just all of the really wholesome vibes that are in here, and how realistic and believable this book was. Like, this is, to me, very, very realistic. Like, this, I could imagine a friend saying to me, like, this is what their life's like and this is what happened. Like, it's not far-fetched. It makes sense. It's real, you know? And sometimes you need a romance book like that. And I just love this. I think it was so beautiful. I think it was so beautiful how it explores, like, human connection as well. And just, I don't know, seeing the world from a different lens when you are pregnant. Like, I just love this so much, and I would highly recommend everyone go and read this book. Truly an amazing read. So that is all my thoughts on this book. And then I decided I was going to pick up Summer in the City by Alex Astor, which is going the complete other way, and this is just a silly little romance. It's a romance with a billionaire. It has fake dating. It's set in New York City, so definitely a different tone of a romance to Ready or Not, but I'm definitely in the mood to read like just nice fun romance books. So I did decide to pick this up next, and I'm very much enjoying it so far. I'm gonna do another update clip in a minute after the b-roll you're about to watch, so it kind of brings you up to date. But yeah, this is what I decided to pick up next, so you guys will see a little bit of b-roll now of me starting this book, and I'm loving it so far. So you will see my face again in this exact same outfit and spot in a few moments, so I will see you then. again, hi. So yes, I am now 9 chapters into this book. I am having a great time, an absolutely great time. So I'm only on page 62, so I'm not very far in at all, but I'm having a great time. This is such an easy book to get into. Like, it didn't take any work. Like, instantly the way this book gets set up sets the tone for their relationship dynamic for the entire book, and that is so clever. So essentially at the start, our main character meets said billionaire, doesn't realize who they are. They kind of basically like assume she's like a gold digger in this club. She obviously hates that because she isn't, and as a result she absolutely decides she now loathes this man and will hold a grudge for the rest of her life. Might I also mention they had a very steamy encounter up against a wall and kissed. So there is that. Then she moves away from New York City. She hates New York. She doesn't see him for 2 years, and then suddenly she's back in New York because she's now going to write this big screenplay, and it's set in New York, and she needs to visit all these different locations that they want included in the screenplay, and she needs to write it. She's got really bad writer's block, and she still to this day hates this man. Shock horror, she moves into this apartment that she's like house sitting for, and guess who lives opposite? Our billionaire. So they are now neighbours. We have like forced proximity. I don't know if he does recognise her. She certainly recognises him and obviously is like freaking out. But I don't know if it's like he does know it's her from that encounter 2 years ago, or he's just, you know, I'm playing dumb, or he genuinely doesn't remember it. I don't know. But he's known as a bit of a playboy. He's never photographed with the same woman twice. Doesn't do relationships. He's a billionaire. He's just sold his company. And he essentially proposes to her that they fake date for the summer because he will go to all of these different locations with her and try to help her get out her writer's block and write this screenplay if she attends like all these social events with him to try and like, you know, make his image look good and stuff like that for the kind of conditions he has of selling his company. So it's like a win-win for each of them, but obviously she hates this man, but I suspect he genuinely kind of has a thing for her because she's not like, I hate saying this, she's not like other girls, but she isn't to him, because a lot of the women he chooses to surround himself with are people who only see him for his money and what they can get from him, rather than just genuinely wanting to spend time with him, if that makes sense. Where I feel like she hates him, wants nothing to do with him or his money. So I think he's definitely intrigued by that. But yeah, so far it's really, really fun. I'm absolutely loving it. I really like the main character. She's so funny. There are so many pop culture references in here, and I know that's not for everyone. We've had a Twilight one, we've had a Taylor Swift one, and there was another one recently. What was it? We had a Hannah Montana reference as well. So I'm just loving that. Like a Twilight, Taylor Swift and Hannah Montana reference all in the first 9 chapters. Love it. Absolutely love it. Could not ask for more. So yeah, I'm having a great time with this. It's just very fun, silly, and I'm honestly so excited for when our main character does start kind of exploring all these places in New York City, because I just kind of love books that are set there. But yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be such a fun time and a nice book to read after reading a more like contemporary romance. But that is all my updates as of right now. I will let you guys know when I read some more of this. Hopefully I can read some more of it today, but I'm quite busy today, so we shall see. But yeah, I'm very much enjoying this one so far. I feel like this was a great choice for our second book, and I'm having so fun just doing some mood reading. Okay, hi guys, so I'm here to give you an update on this book, because as you guys would have seen, I think in my last clip was a reading update. I don't think I filmed any like b-roll since then, but I did read a lot more of this book. So I don't know what I was last time when I checked in with you guys, but I'm now over halfway. I'm on page 176. So I got to halfway this morning. It was so nice. I woke up, fed the cats, and then I came back up to bed, and I got into bed with Lila and just read for like an hour and a half. And honestly, I forgot I could just do that in the mornings. So I'm going to start doing that every single morning. I'm going to make a point of like getting into bed again after I fed the cats and stuff in the morning, and having like an hour to read, because it was just so lovely and such a nice way to start the day. But I did make it to the halfway point. I think I read a little bit of this in the bath as well last night, but I am just loving this book. So yeah, I did get to the halfway point, read a bunch more when I was waiting for my maternity appointment earlier. So yeah, we're quite a bit through now. I don't have too many more thoughts to really discuss with you guys, because a lot of the same is still going on. We're still just going around different locations, and she's working on a screenplay. They're obviously starting to develop a romance. Now, I was still a firm believer he has been into her since day dot, since when they met in the club, and it turns out, and I don't want to give any spoilers, but he was definitely like a he fell first kind of trope. I definitely think we have that going on, and I think this whole thing is just a guise in order for him to get as close to dating her as he can, because she obviously doesn't want to actually date him, but she does. You know, she does. So I think this has just been his way of being able to get closer and get to know her. And he does say at multiple points in this book that he just wants to actually get to know her. And the part I've just read, they literally just spent like an entire day together going around pizza places, which is obviously for like her screenplay. Like that's the purpose of that day. But they go around all these different restaurants and stuff. They spend this really nice day together. And then the next day, he takes her out for the day on basically a date, because it's not for his benefit or her benefit in terms of their like agreement. It's literally just like a date where he's like taking her to all these things he thinks she'll love. And like he's just so cute, like he remembers so many small details about her. And even one time he comes over to her apartment, and she'd mentioned earlier in the book that like she doesn't watch movies like a normal person. She will have the screenplay printed off and she will make notes as she's watching a movie. So he turns up at her house because he knows she was sick the day before. He has a bunch of the screenplays for loads of recent movies, and he's like, well, have a movie night and I've printed them all off for you. And it's just such a small detail. And like he takes her to like this place with all these plants because he knows she likes plants, and he just remembers like all these small things, and it's just so cute. But there is one thing that's bugging me, and she is just very, very hung up on the fact he is a billionaire, the fact he has money, because the way her mother's brought her up is very different. Obviously, she didn't come from a wealthy background, so there's been a lot of struggle, but she's kind of automatically assumed he didn't have to struggle. And I think she's now starting to realise that that was an unfair judgment. But her mother's also kind of brought her up, not anti-man, but very much like, you're an independent woman, you don't need a man. Marriage is not what you think it is. It will just make your life hard. Like, basically with a really negative kind of outlook on marriage and relationships. And you can definitely tell throughout this book that that has shaped and warped how she perceives romantic relationships, and she avoids them. And that is definitely down to that. And I can understand like where her mother's coming from. Like if you read this book, you'll understand. But at the same time, it's definitely warped her perception and kind of prevents her from ever having those relationships in a sense. And yeah, there's one part where she has this coffee shop she goes to every single morning. She has this blueberry muffin thing that she loves, and one day they suddenly stop making them and she's devastated. And then she comes into the coffee shop one day and they're suddenly back on the menu. The table she always sits at is suddenly cleared for her and she considered it. And then he comes in and she's like, hang on a minute, did you buy this coffee shop? And he's like, babe, I bought the whole chain. And she was thrilled. Like, don't get me wrong, like before she found that out, she was so happy that these muffins were back, that she got her favorite spot. Like she was ecstatic. And then the moment she finds that out, she's like, you know, you can't buy me with like buying things that I like, blah, blah, blah. And she just like goes off on him for buying this coffee shop that she likes, so that he could get the muffins she loves put back on there and she can always get the seat she likes. And like I get it, but at the same time, come on, like if a man bought me a coffee shop, do you really think I'd be reacting in that way? Absolutely not. And she was happy about it. So it really annoys me. Like she's just getting in her own way, and like, yes, this man's a billionaire, but he's so far from what we've seen, he's not bad, and you're just completely judging him based on like how you view relationships, how you have a relationship with money, and how you view it. And I think it's kind of unfair, and I think she's starting to learn more about him and his background and what he does with money and why he is the way he is. And like she's starting to learn more and he's starting to learn more about her. And I feel like now she's kind of getting to the point where she's realizing like, okay, I did unfairly judge him. But she's also kind of in her own way when it comes to actually progressing anywhere with a relationship. And it's quite clear that he actually does like want a relationship, I think. But I don't know, that's the vibe I've got from day one, when he's like constantly proposing this idea. But yeah, it's just, that really annoyed me a bit, because I was just like, you're just silly. Like, just take the nice coffee shop, like, you know, have your blueberry muffins and your latte at your spot every morning and be happy about it. But I do get it at the same time. So yeah, there's just been like lots of fun little moments, and I feel like now we've hit like a point in the book where their romantic relationship is slowly developing. Like she's kind of like in that weird fake dating moment where it's like, yeah, but this isn't real. But at the same time, like you can tell there's a connection, there's chemistry, and that they both do romantically like each other. But like she's just so against it, and you could tell like the moment she says I'm down, he would be down, but she's very like much like no. And yeah, there's just like a few things going on. Also, this man, like, I love him, but this is so silly. He bought a $50 million necklace. And then she was like saying, oh, your entire net worth sitting in the trunk of your car, and he was like, it's 1%. Sorry. Like, it is a bit insane, honestly. So yeah, is this a realistic romance? I mean, maybe it is. I don't know any billionaires to tell you if it is, but I don't think it is. It's one of those very silly romances that I've mentioned a million times, but it is so fun. It's just such a fun time, and I don't know, I love them exploring New York together and just kind of like seeing her kind of change and make lots of realizations about how she's thought of certain things for a lot of her life. And I do understand it, but yeah, like that bit did annoy me. But so far, but besides that, I'm just having a great time. There's not really a lot to talk about with this book because it is just a billionaire fun romance in New York City. But yes, the romance is definitely romancing now. It's very much starting. I wouldn't say this is slow burn at all. I feel like only just now we're getting to the part where she's kind of like, actually, maybe this could be more than fake dating. But no, but yeah, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, having a great time with this. Cannot wait to finish reading it. I might end up binging the rest of this evening. It depends if I actually sit down to read. But that is my update on the book at the moment. Just a really fun read, and I'm so glad I picked this one up because it is a very fast-paced book as well. So yeah, the only thing I will say at the moment is I wish we had some chapters from his POV, or if maybe, I don't know, maybe it does, but if the ending maybe has something from his POV, because I feel like that would be so fun. So fun. But yes, anyway, I'm gonna go and I will give you an update when I've either read more or finished the book. But yeah, having a great time. Why I am grinning like the Cheshire Cat just because they're holding hands. And like there's been that whole thing where he's like, yeah, it is pretty, and then he's looking at her and then she's like smiling, looking at the sunset, and she looks over and finds that he's just watching her instead of the sunset. Like, it's so cheesy, but I love it so much. Stop. Oh, she's so stubborn. Okay, hi guys, so I still haven't finished Summer in the City, but I'm hoping to finish it today. So I think shortly I'm gonna head around to my parents' house and sit in the back garden and read, because it's a nice day today, it's sunny, and I want to take advantage of it. So I think that is the plan. I'm gonna try and finish Summer in the City, and then I have a bag full of books, like I mean literally an entire tote bag full of books that I'm going to take around with me. So if I do finish Summer in the City, I have some options to pick and we will pick one together. I do also really need to start Powerless today for a different vlog, so that's not really part of this mood reading vlog, but I might also start that. But yeah, I want to give you guys a little update, and hopefully we can finish the book today and move on to our next book. But I have a feeling my next book is also going to be a romance, because that's just the mood that I'm in, and we're doing a mood reading vlog. So yeah, I will update you guys soon, and hopefully it's with a glowing review of Summer in the City. She's obsessed with this one specific house in New York that she used to tutor at, and she always told herself she would like earn enough money one day to buy this house. Like, that was her dream home. And her and Parker are walking past it, and she suddenly notices that there's a construction crew going in now. I just know in my heart this man has bought that house or something and is doing it up for her. Like, I just have a sneaky feeling. Let's see if I'm right. Or maybe he already owned the house, like, and she didn't realize that that family had moved out and he's been the owner for a while, because he has a key to, what's it called, Gramercy Park, I don't know how you say it, which is like the private little park that comes with that house, and he's a key holder, so maybe he always owned that house. I don't know, Another theory. Okay, I did not expect that to happen. I mean, it was gonna happen eventually, but oh my god. No. Oh, her dad is an asshole. Oh, come on, the girl. I get why she's acting the way she is, but this character is so frustrating. It's a third act breakup, even though it's technically a fake breakup, but not a fake breakup at the same time. You know what? I love the girlhood in this book. It is so cute. Guys, they're in Paris, it's midnight, and this man has literally rented out the Eiffel Tower for her. I can't. I'm crying. I'm literally tearing up. How are we having a third act conflict again right after the most romantic thing possible just happened? Like literally on the same page. Are you kidding? I get it, but she's also insufferable. Okay, we have 30 pages exactly to go. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this wraps up, but my god, this is frustrating. So good, so good. I think it's gonna have to be 5 stars, but I'm gonna think on it and then I'll come back to you guys with a few more thoughts. But so good, I loved it. Okay, so don't have a lot of final thoughts because I feel like everything I have already said is perfect to sum up this read. I want to talk a lot about it, but the things I want to talk about are spoilers, so I can't. But I love this. It was so good. There were a few too many conflicts for my liking, I will say that. So I am going to give this 5 stars just because it was just so fun. Like, I was looking forward to picking this book up constantly. I was constantly smiling and giggling and having a good time. I was never ever bored or like counting down the pages to the end of a chapter, if you know what I mean. Like, I really enjoyed this the whole way through. The only reason I have anything negative to say is this was probably a 4.95 rounded up to a 5 if we're going to be picky, because the main character, like the female main character, was very annoying sometimes, very stubborn, and just certain things she did just really annoyed me. And I think I've seen a few reviews say this. I feel like, I don't know, like I kind of get it and I get what Alexander was doing with her character, but it was so frustrating sometimes, and we had far too many conflicts just because of her and her being stupid basically, and just being too stubborn and just not thinking things through properly, which was just really annoying. Like, there was like 3 conflicts in here I think, and then we had like almost 2 third act breakups, and one of them literally happened on the same page as like the most monumental romantic thing happening, and then the next minute we have like, you know, the peak of the romance. Everything's great. I can't say what because spoilers, but I really want to, but just trust me, okay? just imagine, like, you know, the ultimate thing happening in a romance book and you're so happy, you're so psyched, you're like, finally. And then literally like a few lines down is her just being like, actually, you know what, and just being stubborn and introducing another conflict. And I get it, I do get it, but at the same time, just let me be happy, like, enjoy the romance, stop throwing spanners into the works. But also I get it, so that's why it's like 4.95, but that is me being very picky. But it was very, very fun. I loved how it wrapped up. I loved exploring New York City in the summer and visiting all these different places, and I just love both of the characters and kind of seeing how they changed, and some of the side characters. Girlhood was a theme in here, not massively, but it was there in the background, and I really enjoyed those moments. Overall, it was just a really, really fun book. If you're looking for one of those romance books that doesn't take itself seriously, is very, very, very silly, billionaire romance, have some pop culture references in, and just is a really fun time, I feel like this is the perfect review. It's fast-paced, it's fun, it's silly, it's great. So yeah, 5 stars for this one. Our second book finished. Now I'm trying to decide between, I think, these 4 of what I'm going to pick up next. I'm really in the mood for Happy Place by Emily Henry, but I just, for some reason, something's making me a little bit apprehensive. But I want something really quick to read, and I feel like this one I'm not gonna like fly through super fast. So I'm leaning more towards First Down by Grace Riley. This is the first book in the Beyond the Play series, and I think I have the first 3 of these, and this one I feel like I'd read very quick because it's just under or just over 300 pages, but I feel like because it's one of those like sports romance books, I would just fly through it really fast. And maybe I could read this on my Kindle too, and sometimes I read like a lot faster on there. So that one is a really good contender. And then the other 2 I'm debating are Out on a Limb and Give Me Butterflies. Do you really want to read this? But I just read Ready or Not, which has a pregnancy trope, so I'm thinking maybe not. But I don't know. No, I do kind of want to read this one, but I want to read the other 2 more. So I feel like it's definitely between these 2 books, but I don't know. I'm not sure, guys. So I think I might have to ask my patrons and see which one they think, because I'm stuck between these 2, but it's probably going to be these 2. Maybe like if I do read this one, and then this will be the next read. But I feel like this one's going to be like Emily Henry's romance books. I mean, granted, I've only read Book Lovers. Her romance books are romance with contemporary fiction, literary fiction mixed in there. They're not just like fluffy fun romance. Like, they have that undertone of literary fiction sometimes, and like a lot more. Like, I loved Book Lovers, but there was like chapters and chapters about the main character's sister that we just did not need to know, and I was just like, oh come on. Like, it was just a bit, you know. So I know with Emily Henry's books there's a lot of like things kind of, you know, flowered in there. But yeah, so I think I just want another like fun, quick, silly romance, and I feel like a college sports romance could be the way to go. I think this is a college romance. Could just be, yeah, it is university. I just saw the word on the back. So I'm leaning towards this one, I think, before we go into the Emily Henry, and then maybe this will be the book after. I don't know. I realise I've kind of taken an unintentional theme as well, and we're reading romance, but that's just the mood I'm in. So this is a mood reading vlog, but it's also a romance vlog, I guess. But yeah, I did bring a fantasy book with me to maybe start, which was like an Ella Fields one, but I'm not in the mood for fantasy, I don't think. And I'm going to be starting Powerless anyway, so yeah, it's definitely between these 2 books. I need to make my mind up, but I probably won't start them until later or tomorrow, because I'm gonna go home soon and I feel very, very sick. So I want to go home and just lie down for a bit, but hopefully we can start one of these tonight, and I shall let you know which one I end up starting. Okay, hi guys, so we are going to start our next read. So I actually have a little weekend readathon with my patrons going on this weekend, so I'm hoping I can read quite a lot. So I think our next read is going to be First Down by Grace Riley, because I'm in the mood for like a college sporty kind of romance, and this one seems like a little on the short side. And yeah, I don't know, I just feel like this one is the one I'm kind of in the mood for, so I think we're going to go with this one. And then my next book might be a fantasy, because I'm feeling like the fantasy mood is slowly making its way towards me. However, I'm still very much in a romance mood, so we shall see. But I'm hoping to get through this book and start another one in this weekend, so I will let you guys know what I think when I do start this. But yeah, it's going to be a nice chill weekend. It's very, very rainy this weekend, so I'm hoping just to stay and get a lot of reading done. And of course I'm going to update all my thoughts on the books in this vlog. So yeah, those are the plans. This is the next book up in this vlog, and I will check with you guys soon. So I don't know what my last update was for this vlog. I'm assuming I told you guys I was going to start this book. I have started this. I am now on chapter 13, which is page 81, and I'm having a very fun time so far. Definitely nothing new, nothing original. I've read this story before like a million times, but it's one of those stories that you enjoy the familiarity of and you always have a fun time reading. So is this going to be like a 4 or 5 star read? Absolutely not. It's probably going to be a solid 3, but sometimes a solid 3 is what you need, and 3 stars is by no means a bad rating. Not that I'm saying I'm giving this book 3 stars because I'm not even like halfway done, but it feels like it's going to be a 3 star read, and 3 star reads are really fun. So yeah, anyway, essentially what this book is about is we have James, who is, I think he is the captain of the football team, but he's like this really, you know, well-known football player for this, like, well, he's going to be going into the NFL or something, whatever it's called. So he's really famous in college football, basically. He's transferred to this college that they both attend, and he failed a writing class, so he now has to take that writing class while he's doing his college football thing, but he sucks at it. Then we have our gal Bex. She is a photography / business college student, and she is also in the same writing class. She's very good at it, and she broke up with her ex-boyfriend during the summer. Her ex-boyfriend is not very nice at all. He cheated on her, but he will not take no for an answer. He will not accept that she has broken up with him because of it, and he's just really, really horrible, basically. And she's at this party. They've never met each other before. She kisses him in front of her ex as if to be like, listen, I'm over you, leave me the hell alone. I'm kissing someone else, like, bye. Not knowing like he's on the football team with him. So that happens at the start of the book, and then we have them both in this writing class. He's being crap at it, so he says to her, hey, I'll give you anything in exchange if you'll tutor me and help me pass this class. She's like, no, I have enough things on my own plate. Not interested. We kiss, that's it. And he's like very sworn off relationships and girls. He wants no distractions whatsoever from football, because it's been hinted at that something happened for him during the summer with a girl, and it resulted in him moving and transferring to this school. So we don't know what yet, but he, as a result, doesn't want anything to do with girls. He just wants to focus on football, but he is immediately attracted to her and can't stop thinking about her. So we have that. She feels the same about him, but she's also sworn off relationships given what she's going through with her ex. So they're kind of at a stalemate, and then one day her ex does something and is still not taking no for an answer, and she's like, right, I'm just gonna fake date someone and hope that he will take a man more seriously, because he does not take her as a woman seriously at all, which speaks of his character. So she figures, surely, you know, the only thing that's gonna work is another man. So if I fake date someone, he'll finally leave me alone, which is gross. But she comes to that conclusion, and she says to James, okay, look, I'll take up your offer to tutor you if you'll fake date me. And he's like, do you know what? Yeah, cool. So they agree to fake date. That's the premise. This isn't a spoiler, it's on the back of the book. And that's kind of where we're at now. They've just decided to fake date. So far, really, really fun time. Honestly, like I said though, absolutely nothing new. This is exactly like all the other books I've read before that are set in college and have fake dating. But obviously I'm not that far through. I am curious to see like why he transferred and what happened with his ex. And I'm curious to see like how they're going to navigate fake dating, because there's clearly a strong attraction between them and chemistry already, like literally from like the first chapter of the book. So very, very intrigued to see how this is going to play out. But yeah, so far it's a fun time, but nothing special. Hoping to make a lot of progress on this weekend during my readathon, but we shall see. So that is my little update for this vlog. This is what I'm reading so far. We'll let you guys know when I do read some more and what my thoughts are. I'm hoping to try and get to the halfway point at least today. So that is the plan, and I think when I do get to the halfway point is when I'll next update you guys, unless anything significant happens that I really want to yap about, but I highly doubt it. But yeah, that is the update. We'll check with you guys very, very soon. Hi guys, so it has been quite some time since I updated this vlog, and that is because life has just gotten very busy and I wasn't doing a whole lot of reading. So I do have some updates. So I think the last time I updated you guys, I had started First Down by Grace Riley. So I did get, I think I'm a little bit further in than this. I don't know, I'm about 80 pages in or something. Yeah, I'm literally like on chapter 13. I don't know if I was on that when I last spoke to you guys, but I have actually softy enough this since. Not to say I'm not going to come back to it, I'm just not obsessed with it, and that's what I need right now. So I did decide to softy enough it. But I then started Happy Place by Emily Henry. And I got 39 pages in on chapter 5, but I have temporarily paused this. It's not a DNF, I just paused it because I want to come back to it when I like could fully enjoy it and sit and read good chunks of it in like, you know, rapid succession. Like this is a book I know I'm going to read in like chunks, like if I'm sitting in the garden all day in the sun, that kind of thing. I haven't really been doing that because I've been too busy. So I temporarily put it on pause. It got super busy, and then I was like, you know what, I don't want to pick up Happy Place just that. I want like an easy, silly Kindle Unlimited book, one that like I can just kind of fly through. You know those books you read where you just binge them? That's what I wanted, that's what I was in the mood for. And a while ago I downloaded Leave Me Behind, and I'd seen people talking about this online, and I think it's been traditionally published and people like obsessing over it, and I was like, what is this book? So I did download it a while ago, and last night I was like looking through my Kindle, I was getting a bath, and I was like, I need something to read. I was like, I'll start that book, I'll read 10% and then we'll call it a night and we'll see how I'm vibing. I got in that bath and I read 55% of that book in one sitting. So yeah, I read 55% of it, and then I got out of the bath and then I read like another 20%, and then I realised it was 2 AM and I had to put it down and go to sleep. And then this morning I read a lot more, and I'm now 77% into that book. So I read 77% of this book in less than 24 hours. I think it's like 466 pages, so I don't know how many pages that works out to, but it's a lot, which is good for me. So yeah, it's an interesting book. I had no idea what it was about going in. All I knew was military and like darkish romance. So if you're going to read this book, definitely check the trigger warnings. But it basically follows like this elite group of soldiers, and there's like underground forces within the military that even the military doesn't know exists really, and it's basically people who do really bad things in society, and the government or this like, I don't know who they are, basically says to them, okay, you can be part of the dark forces and do our dirty work for us, and then eventually we will set you free again, that kind of thing. So our main character lost her entire like group, and she ends up joining this other group with this guy called Bones, and he's basically bullying her out of the group. It's very violent and dark, but there's also romance and chemistry there. It's very toxic, and there's also like a bit of mystery. So I don't know how to describe it, but it's military romance essentially, but very made up at the same time. And I don't know what it is, just something about it is very, very like addictive, and I couldn't help but binge it. And I'm not a fan of smut really, or spice in my books, but I actually really am enjoying it in this book. It doesn't go on for pages and pages, it's concise and I like it. I'm actually enjoying reading those scenes because they make sense within like the story too. And I don't know, I'm not like finding myself wanting to quickly get past them. Like I'm reading them and I'm just like, okay, cool, you know. So I feel like that's a good sign. But I wouldn't say this is like the best book written ever. It's just one of those books that you read on Kindle Unlimited and you can't help but binge, and you just have a fun time reading. But it does have very dark themes. There's a very dark and not so nice scenes in this book that like I definitely didn't like. But overall I'm just like really enjoying it, and it's just such a fast read. So I'm hoping to kind of finish that tonight, but that is the current mood read. I was just in the mood for one of those kinds of books. So yeah, not sure what my rating will be, because I always like to give books that I binge this fast a high rating, because to me that's an indicator that it's an enjoyable story. Doesn't mean it's the best well written story or anything, but it just means it's really fun. And like for a book to have me that hooked that I read 50% of it in one single sitting is amazing. But also like, is this a book I'm ever going to read again? Probably not. So like, it's also not like a 5-star, if that makes sense, but it's like a good, I'd say it's like a 3.5 4-star for me at the moment. But it's one I'd recommend if you're looking for a bingeable book and you can cope with the trigger warnings. So far so good. That's like my reading updates at the moment. I'm currently running another bath because I'm sore. I need a bath. And I think I'm going to take my Kindle in, and we might see if we can whack out the rest of this book. I think I have 23%, so I don't know how much, like how many pages that is, but maybe we can just lie in the bath and just get the rest of that read, and then I will probably end this vlog, or maybe we'll carry on reading this. I'm not too sure. I feel like I'm probably gonna end this vlog once I do finish Leave Me Behind, because I feel like this vlog is quite long, and I don't know, I feel like it's been very productive. Like, I will have finished 3 books, which is amazing for me, because it's definitely helped me get out my slump a bit and to enjoy reading again. So yeah, this vlog so far has been so fun. I've loved the books I've read. I've had a great time. So that's all the updates. I will catch up with you guys probably when I've finished the book, but yeah, I'm excited to finish it, but I'm also scared. Like, I'm genuinely really worried about what is going to happen, because this is at the point now where shit is about to hit the fan, and it's going to get probably very gruesome, very violent, very stressful, probably going to make me anxious and want to scream at my Kindle. And I also have a theory that is stressing me out, which is likely going to be true. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to the rest of the book, I'm not going to lie. Like, I feel a bit stressed about what's going to happen next, because it can't be good. It's going to be bad, but I'm going to finish it. So I will give you my final thoughts when I do. So let's go and finish. Okay, hi guys, I am just here to wrap up this vlog, because I actually finished filming this vlog over a week ago, and this vlog was actually being filmed for like a month, and I realized when I finished editing it that I never filmed an outro. So I'm here to do that. I don't know if I said outro at the start of this clip or I called it an intro, but I mean outro. So I'm here to do an outro. And yeah, I had so much fun filming this vlog. I have been getting back into reading again. Am I reading at the pace I used to? Absolutely not. It's still taking me a while to get through books, but I am enjoying books again. I'm loving reading, having the downtime to do that. I definitely do think the sunny weather we've been having in the UK has helped, but I've been loving reading, and I feel like every book I've read recently has been so much fun. So in this vlog, the first book I finished was Ready or Not by Cara Bastone, I believe. I gave this 4 stars. This book was so much fun. So yeah, I started that quite a while ago now, and I enjoyed that book so much. It's definitely one of those romance books that is a combination of romance with a bit of literary fiction. It's one of those ones that's a lot more serious, has a lot more depth, and is a lot more serious and less silly goofy, if you know what I mean. Like, I feel like in the romance genre there are so many different kinds. Like, you have your dark romance, you have your like fluffy romance, you have your silly billionaire romance, and then you have those kind of contemporary-esque romance, a bit like Emily Henry. I feel like if you like Emily Henry, you probably really like Cara Bastone's writing. But I really enjoyed this book. I think for me personally, because I was going through some of the same things as the main character, I enjoyed it for that reason. But I don't think you have to be pregnant or anything of the sort to enjoy this book. It's just a really good book that really is very wholesome. There are so many wholesome friendships and different relationship dynamics. It's friends to lovers, it's slow burn, it's very cute, the main character is very likable, it's set in New York. It was just such a fun and lovely book to read, and I really enjoyed reading it, and I would highly recommend it. And I cannot wait to read her other book, which is, I think, Promise Me Sunshine. I do have it, so I will hopefully be picking that up this summer. But that was the first book we read, 4 stars, a great way to start this vlog off. And then I went the complete opposite way, and we read a silly, goofy billionaire romance by Alex Astor, which is Summer in the City. I enjoyed it. I think I gave it 5 stars. It was so much fun. Well, I think I gave it 4.75 stars and rounded up to a 5, because my only complaint about that book was the main character was so stubborn and annoying at times and just created unnecessary conflict, and I understood it, but it was really annoying. So that was the reason it wasn't a full 5, but I did round up to a 5 on Goodreads, I believe. It was just a fun time. If you are looking for a really fun book that is no brain power, is absolutely silly and unrealistic and ridiculous, and you just want something to laugh at with great chemistry, fun vibes, going around New York City, eating pizza and just having a great time, then this is the book for you. I would highly recommend it. I think it's a great summer read. I really enjoyed it so much. I was laughing, I was giggling, I was shocked, I was swooning, like a million different things, and it was just so much fun. I feel like you saw my reactions in the b-roll, but I really enjoyed it. And then after that, I think the next book I read was the Little Winnie the Pooh collection, which is a really random read, I know, but this was a mood reading vlog. And I was very kindly gifted this by Holly. So Holly, if you're watching, thank you so much. This book was so cute. It was so uplifting, so wholesome, and just such a nice thing to read in between all the things I have been reading. I would recommend this if you're looking for a pick-me-up, if you're looking for something cute, really wholesome. It's going to give you great philosophical reminders of life, to not take yourself too seriously, to really prioritize and appreciate kindness and friendship above all else. Like, it was just so nice. The illustrations are beautiful. It tells a lovely story of friendship and kindness while also giving you life lessons on each page, and I just really liked it. It was so beautiful, and I just love stuff like that, so I did give that 5 stars. And then the last book I read in this vlog was a complete wildcard and random, and this is purely because I've seen it everywhere and I had FOMO, and it was Leave Me Behind. I'll pop it on the screen here. I read this on my Kindle. I read the first 50% of this in one single sitting, then got out of the bath, read another 20%, and then had to go to sleep and binge read the rest of it. I really enjoyed this book. Now, I think I've settled on a 3-star rating because it was just pure enjoyable fun, and 3 stars is never a bad rating. 3 stars means I really enjoyed this book. I had a fun time reading it. I would recommend it, but I didn't love it as much as I would have 4-star read, if that makes sense. So yeah, 3 stars is absolutely not a bad rating. This is a dark romance. It has a lot of trigger warnings, so you do need to check those out before you pick it up. And yeah, I don't really know what I expected with it, but I just found the writing style very addictive, and I think any book that makes me read 50% in one go is good. It's fun. That is a good indication to me that the writing is good, like, as in, it's addictive. It makes you sucked in, and I just really enjoyed it. We did get 2 different perspectives, mostly from the FMC, but we also got the MMC's perspective at times, which I really liked. I think that works so well, and I feel like if you like the Mindfuck series by St. Abbey and you like Lana Myers, the main character in that one, you will love this book. Go read this book because it has similar vibes. She is like a full-on murderer. Like, she is the villain. This is morally black. Like, these people kill people for a living. And yeah, it's very toxic and dark, but I really enjoyed it. And I'm not a huge fan of dark romance or those dark spicy scenes, but I did actually enjoy them in this book. It actually was very fun to read. I didn't want to like just skim past it because I'm not a smut spice person, but I actually liked it in this book, and I don't know what that says about me, but it was really good. I just had such a fun time. 3.5 stars for sure. And yeah, if you want to dip your toe in dark romance, if you like the Mindfuck series, very violent, gory books, then this probably is the book for you. But those are the 4 books I read during this mood reading vlog. I know some people probably read a lot more in their mood reading vlogs, but as someone who's getting back into reading again, finding their love for reading whilst also just having a very busy life at the moment, I am so happy with these books, and they were all great reads. Like, not one complaint. Well, I did complain about some of them, but like, I mean, you know, it wasn't like I gave only 1 or 2 stars. Like, these were all really enjoyable, good books. I had a great time reading every single one. And yeah, this vlog was just so much fun to film. So if you guys would like to see more mood reading vlogs for me, please do let me know in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on any of these books. Let me know if there's any vlogs you'd like to see from me in particular, or any bookish videos. Also, let me know if there's any books you want to see me read in a vlog. I would love to know which ones you guys would like me to read. And yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this. I will link these books down below in the description if you want to check them out. There's also a link to my Patreon. That's where you'll find early access to videos such as this one. You'll find exclusive content on there, life updates, a Discord, and so much more. You'll also find a book club for this book. We are reading this in May and June, which is Silver Elite by Danny Francis. I am almost halfway into this. I'm obsessed. This is going to be one of my favorite books of the year. So if you are interested in joining me reading that, you can head to my Patreon. I'll also leave a link for my Instagram and my BookTok account and my lifestyle TikTok if you guys want to check those out. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you're all safe and well. I hope you're reading lots of good books, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.